There is no failure, only feedback. The feedback helps you get better. The feedback is the lessons that you have along the way. And the only way you can be awesome is by having some failures along the way. Hey guys, Matt Tait here from Fork in the Road, your channel for transformation. As always, bringing forward a whole bunch of techniques to get you guys moving forward and really getting the most out of your life. So use your mind and your body to move yourself forward and stop being stuck. That's what I'm here for. And today's a really good one, and I use this on myself all the time. And it is one of the many of the NLP presuppositions. Now, NLP, in case you've not seen my channel before, it's neuro-linguistic programming, which is mind, words, and patterns. The patterns of your words that are a clue to what's going on in your unconscious. And so with the mind, words, and patterns, one of the tenets inside NLP is a presupposition, or fancy word for assumption. They like to use big words, these linguists. And it's a fancy word for being an assumption about how to live in the world. Okay, so this is one of them. And this presupposition, or assumption, is there is no failure, only feedback. Let that one sink in for a moment. There is no failure, I might put it just over here. There is no failure, only feedback. The words will magically appear there. And so there is no failure, only feedback. What does that mean? Well, it means that if you fail, that's okay, because you've now learned what to do. I think everyone mentions Thomas Edison had 10,000 goes at making a light bulb and failing and eventually succeeded. So someone said, you've failed 10,000 times. No, I've only failed 9,999 times. I've actually learned how not to make a light globe 9,999 times. But one time I learned and it actually worked, right? So there is no failure, only feedback. Now, this is what I get from this. This is the thing that I reckon is the powerful subcurrent to this. And that is the word judgment. We are judging ourselves when we fail. Now, what's interesting is a lot of the time, the thing that we're worried about being judging us isn't even here. It was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe at high school, maybe when you were a kid, maybe it was things your parents said when you were very, very young, or some kid across the road, or whatever it might have been. Be something someone said in your world when you were very young. And it's now sitting here with you right now. The thing I get from there is no failure, only feedback is you are judging yourself if you're not allowing yourself to fail. God knows I've been through it many times where I've judged myself for failing, or even judged myself for not even trying. That's the real thing that we all have regret on, is we don't try many times. And eventually we try one time and we get it 80% right and we've learnt so much. But if we don't try, we are judging ourselves into doing nothing. So judgment, self-judgment, judging yourself against a template of what? Like, what is this magical template from which you're judging from? Where's this thing come from? Who said that thing to you? Who put that belief in your heart that you couldn't do the thing? Who put that belief into your heart? If you try that and fail, we're going to kick you out of the herd, which is one of our deepest unconscious fears. Because as human beings, we are the strongest animal on earth when in a group of 100. But when we're by ourselves, a lion will take us out because we're not the strongest, right? Unless we've got a machine gun or something. But if it's just flesh on flesh, we are going down, right? So we know unconsciously that if we're kicked out of the group, kicked out of the tribe, it means unconscious death. It doesn't mean death in our society, but it means death to our amygdala, to our reptilian brain, right? So this is the thing. There is no failure, only feedback. And this is where, if we're so afraid of failure, as I know I have been, and I know I'm sure I will be in the future doing something that I'm not used to. And so how do we get over that? And I think that healing self-judgment and also motivating yourself forward are two of the things we can do. So in NLP, one of the things we can do, healing self-judgment, go and do a healing session on yourself with timeline, go and do a self-directed healing session, go and do some EFT, go and do some havening, go and do some hypnosis with someone, go and do all these techniques will help get to the unconscious brain, which is your whole system actually, and release that self-judgment that may be the thing underneath the surface. That's the anchor. That's the boat anchor holding you back. The rocket that's trying to shoot you to the moon, though, we want to fuel that up and get that moving forward when we release that anchor, and that will be your values. Like what's important about attempting the thing that you're worried about the failure and the feedback that you might get. And the feedback is lessons. The feedback in There Is No Failure, Only Feedback is lessons, right? So we want to have the lessons that make us do it better the next time. Don't do the same mistake again. And so as you fuel yourself up, what's important about the thing you're trying to do? Maybe you're trying to build a business. Maybe you're trying to, get better at a sport. Maybe you're trying to ask a girl out. Maybe you're trying to, save up for a house. Maybe you're trying to attempt public speaking, maybe. I don't know what it is. Something that freaks you out a little bit. And to know that there is no failure, it's only getting better and improving is exciting. So release the self-judgment. Find out why you're doing this thing in the first place. Why do you want to do it? It might be growth, it might be connection, it might be respect. And get better at being a human being. Get better with more skills. Get better by attempting the thing that you're worried about. And don't waste any more time. There you go. That's my little rant on There Is No Failure, Only Feedback. The feedback helps you get better. The feedback is the lessons that you have along the way. And the only way you can be awesome is by having some failures along the way. This is Matthew Tait. There is no failure. There is only feedback. Keep getting better and release the self-judgment. I'll see you in the next video.